Greetings. Now, I wanted to go on YouTube again to give you something that I saw after my last vids. Not this one that I'm going to send, but my last one. I was just tidying up a little after. Been going to bed very late lately, and I couldn't believe it. I heard this strange noise in the sky, and I looked out my window, and I saw this helicopter. It was like a military helicopter, but it was so, and I saw it. It wasn't a vision or a dream. You know what I mean? But my daughter had the vision, and I had the I saw it, you know, being awake. And when I saw it, it had different color lights, and it made this sound like and I was a bit shaken, like, do you know back in the war when they had that kind of sound to alert whether the enemy's near, or you know, it was so horrible. And I went down because our garden is really long. I got my little patch, so I went through my patch to the other side, and I went through the main house and outside to see it. And I was going to film it, you know, and just show you all. And I just thought, oh, I've got to tell you this. So my younger daughter called, and because it's not something scary, I told her. She goes, for God's sake, Mary, you got to watch the bloody news. I says, what the news got to do with it? You know what I mean? Because I was vexed now, you know. And she's always Miss Right, but she's so gorgeous. I'm very proud of her, you know. So what happened was, she says, Mum, Boris Johnson did say that he's going to get, like, the military, and there be police in the street, you know, by air and by... I know it hasn't really happened much on ground, but, you know, how much more intimidation do these people want to give us? You know what I'm saying? So, before I went to bed that night, I always listen to God channel. I used to listen to it a lot before I moved, and I listened to it, and then I just went on, because I've joined to the council list, in a sense where you can get, because they get probably the news before the BBC, you know what I mean? So something popped up, interested, like some Christians have been arrested for opening there, but they wasn't really arrested, you know, but it's just like there could have been, like, you know, news sensation or sensationalism, whatever. So yeah, and I bungled upon this thing, and I tried to send it to all my WhatsApp, well, most of them, a lot of them, but I can't. And I don't know why. So I think they're trying to keep it hidden, but I wrote it down. You know how long it took? Nearly 2 hours. So, because, like, you know, like when you have a secret code on your phone and it just goes off within, you know, so I had to keep touching the phone. It's so annoying. I was going to take it off before I can't be bothered. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read it out to you now. And, oh, hold on a minute. I really wear these. One day I wouldn't have to have them, because I just believe the Lord will, you know. Okay. Right. This is the heading. Hold on a minute. Right, yeah, I'm making myself a little bit warm because this place is quite cool, because I'm getting used to the cold. When I went out today, I had a coat on, and I unzipped the buttons because I'm going to start fasting and that, because fasting is good. I used to do it a little bit. I didn't do it much, you know, but I love it when God leads me to a fast. When he leads me into a fast, I can fast for 2 weeks, and I feel so energetic straight away. I feel, oh God, you know what I mean? I could work on it. So I like it, but I'm going to start fasting, because if that's going to happen, I need to know how to handle myself on the street, because I'm going to be a female soldier. You know what I mean? Like someone that is strong and robust and can handle. I mean, I used to wonder. It's so weird that I'm working outdoors all the time. Even though I love the job, I'm thinking, oh, come on, God, what's all this about? I think this is all to get me prepared, just in case, you know. I mean, not dreams I've had, you know what I mean? Anyway, here it goes. Title: Cathedrals to open their doors as COVID-19 vaccination centres This was documented on Christian News on Saturday 14th of November 2020 by Tola Makuia. Lichfield and Blackburn cathedrals are among the Anglican cathedrals which have offered their buildings up to local health authorities providers to help with the mass planned COVID-19 vaccination programme. Both Lichfield and appropriate dates and times, Dean of Lichfield, the Very Rev. Ardian Dorber said, "We pray every day for our nation and communities, especially for the healing of the sick and protecting the vulnerable. It's only right we offer our cathedrals as a practical means for those prayers to be answered." The news of a possible jab from pharmaceutical company Pfizer came as England towards the end of its first week in a second national lockdown. The medical director of the NHS England believes the body will be up to the challenge of distributing a coronavirus vaccine. Meanwhile, the local government association has said authorities could offer the jab at sports hall. No wonder they're locked down. Libraries. No wonder they're locked down. That too, and car parks, to ensure as many people are vaccinated as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. You know what I mean? Doctor surgeries are initially expected to provide around 1 million doses of the vaccine each week when it's ready. Rev. Dorber said, the rollout of this new vaccine to immunise us from what? Our original DNA. That's it. But they're saying against the COVID-19 infection is the best news of the year. Yeah! Probably best news for Satan. We want to offer the cathedrals here at Lichfield as a big spade that can safely and securely hold that thought, because I've written about 3 pages and I'm not very happy. House local vaccination programs and enable speedy delivery. Quickly, speedy, get it? To those most at risk. The sick, the elderly, the disabled, need to go on. Children. I hope not. I hope not for none of us. Guildford Cathedral was turned into a drive-through clinic last month to immunise 800 local people against this year's influenza, and is among other cathedrals and have offered their buildings as safe spaces for vaccination programmes. Blackburn with Darwin local authority area has seen the second highest coronavirus infection figures in the country after Oldham, and has been in local lockdown since July. Really? No, I didn't know that, you know. Blackburn Cathedral has worked hard to play its part in supporting the more vulnerable in the community throughout the pandemic. It has offered services to the local authorities since March and is currently in talks with the local healthcare provider and could become a vaccination centre as soon as December. Oh my God. I'm going to hold it right there. If it's going to come as demonic and evil as the Bible says, the rapture will take first, and I should be up there. If not, then something wrong. Right, Dean of Blackburn, the Very Rev. Peter Howell Jones said, at the heart of the Christian faith is love and hospitality, and a God that cares for all people. Let me hold it there. I don't want to get you a lot confused. That's why I don't like saying I'm a Christian, because every bonkers has called themselves a Christian. But the true Christian is not got the Holy Spirit. If any man has not the Holy Spirit, he's none of his. You understand? So there's those that are led by someone else or some other being. So don't get confused with that. I just want you to be sure that you understand that. I don't think, Lord, what you know, if they, you know what I mean? Because some people, or many, they have a form of godliness, but they deny the power of God. Yeah? No. It is only right we offer our buildings have a safe and accessible space for this exciting inoculation plan, and be prepared to serve the nation, kill the nation, and make them sick more like. In these times of uncertainty and fear, yeah, we fear the injection and the wannabe Grim Reaper who cannot urge quick enough for us to die. Now listen to this. This is what they're saying. If the plan for Blackburn Cathedral goes ahead, the local health care providers, Health Lancashire and South Cumbria, will turn the undercroft and crypt area of the city centre landmark into a vaccination centre. Guess how long? Hold on. For an estimated 12 to 14 months period from this December. I don't understand. So are we going to continue to wear masks until then? Or social distancing? You bet we are. Because masks will just destroy the lungs and this and that. That's why I have to have a face screen. Oh, God. I repeat, 12 to 14 months period from December. This will enable it to offer vaccinations 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, to up to 1,700 people per week. Oh, and in India, I think in Nigeria and China, the persecution of Christians are sharply on the increase. So you've got to pray for them. You know what I mean? I mean, some bullet points, because all I want to say is, do not take the vaccine. Yeah. Satan cannot create. He only imitates. And he wants to be like God. He's the God of this world, but he wants to be the creator of the whole. And he can't be, because he can't create shit. All he does is imitate. So God creates human beings, wonderful. And all he wants to do now is create his own version, perversion. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be bad. Hybrids. Oh. Now, I had a dream. I had a few more dreams that I forgot. I had a dream. I don't know how to describe it. I was in the I woke up in a dream in a party, and I didn't even know anybody. And there's this famous man. Everybody knows him, and I think everybody loves him. Tall, dark, and handsome, British, and he's just won global life, you know. And he saw me in the party. He had his eye beaming for me, and I saw him and I thought, oh, it's him. And the next thing, I was lying down in the party on the floor, fully clothed, of course, and he was lying next to me. That speaks of humbleness. He's very humble, and he's, you know what I mean? He doesn't reveal himself in public. He's very humble, but he's been in some good films and good series, you know. And what else? And then he just had his eye on me all the time. And I jumped about him quite a number of times. I was shocked, you know. I was thinking, like, he's spying on me. He wants to see how I treat people. And if I'm about to get upset with him, he'll just kind of give me that. He doesn't judge me. And puts his eyes down like, you can do better. And I woke up thinking, bitch, I'm human, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just spiritual, and sometimes I let loose. And I was thinking, why is he coming in my dreams? You know what I mean? Anyway. I think he saw a girl that he knew and he liked, and he kind of went off. And I thought, oh, okay. And he came back to me. And then I found myself in this bar. I was about to order a drink, and the man says, oh, it's on in the house. I says, okay. And I felt somebody looking at me, just like what I just said. You know what I mean? But I didn't say I felt someone looking at me. Like, you know, you just feel it. And I turned around, and it was him, and he was trying to hide. And there was like this little object. I don't know if it was a love art. I don't know what it was. Red in the dress. I mean, I drink that. I'm not drinking it. So I went into another part of the kind of event or whatever. I don't know what it was, but and there was some black women cooking, and I thought, oh, I could do some food. And I sat there. I kind of just stand there, and then I saw two doors, and they were swinging open. You know when somebody walks through a door and it just swings backwards and forwards. And as it was swinging, I saw some Catholic priest, and I know that he's a part of the other things I'm talking about. And the Catholic priest had, and this was way back you know, before the computer, way back, way back. And the Catholic priest, so I didn't know what the heck it was. Shook. No, there was two Catholic priests, and they had and you know, before I say go on, not all Catholic priests are bad. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of them have made the other lot look bad. You know, I don't like to think everyone in a particular group is bad. You know what I mean? I just can't. So, the Catholic priest, he had about three no, it's like two of them holding it together. Black children in his hands, really dark skin. I'm always dreaming about dark skin because after them first, because they're melanin man. You know what I mean? And that's why they want to dilute us a lot. They envy the melon. Anyway, they always look at these black children fascinated, like, wow, like the children were dolls, and the babies were looking at them, babies, you know, and they were shaking the babies like this, like with both hands, just shaking it. And when they shook it, the babies turned to pigs, and they looked at each other like, wow, look what we can do, like, look. And then they shook it again vigorously and turned back to black babies. It's like they're doing it backwards and forwards, like experimenting using animal DNA. And someone told me, yeah, it's pork. You know what I mean? And I'm beginning to believe it. In the vaccine. I'm not sure if it, but something ain't right with that. And I knew it was from God. And I knew it was a part of, but this one seemed a bit far-fetched. I was thinking, but I ended up placing them all together eventually. And I saw that man, the famous man, and he kind of got this walk, like really ghetto walk, you know, but he's a nice man. And he walked through he probably knew what was happening there, but it's like, I'm not a part of it. I don't know if he is, I don't think, I don't know. And he just walked through the second door, you know what I mean? I didn't know what he was doing in there, but he just walked through it like, that has nothing to do with me, you know what I mean? And God kept giving me a few more dreams about him, like, we might work together, because I'm a writer and he's looking for a writer, and he actually advertised it as well a few times, but I always miss it, you know what I mean? So anyway, I was still at that place, and I was so shocked, and I was so confused and a bit scared and hurt, because it's like they was messing with really beautiful dark-skinned black children, babies. And then I saw this do you know, have you ever watched Gone with the Wind? By far one of my favourite, usually be my favourite, but a few films are my favourite. It probably is my favourite. I love Wuthering Heights as well. But Gone with the Wind, do you know when they had those nice carriages and they went to the party, and you know, back in them days, and Red Butler, can't go wrong with him, man. He's so funny, I tell you. Quite frankly, darling, I don't give a damn. Remember, it's like a man and a woman's film. It's just brilliant, man. The War, remember? No, I'm joking. So, do you know, when I was watching the film, I've watched it loads of times, and they have these horse and carriage, and it's all glamorous, a horse. Well, it was like that, you know, back in the day. I keep talking about this Victorian thing, and they had some really dark-skinned women, like African women, and I think those babies were African. And these people are in Africa now. I think they experimented because they went there to inject them, you know. You know what I mean? It's funny because I never dreamt about Asia at all. And they're in Asia as well. The only one time I dreamt about Asia, I don't know if I ever dreamt about it more than once, probably once or twice. I dreamt that, and I knew this was God. God called me to go to, I think it was India or Pakistan, I'm not sure, and help the very poor over there. So I dreamt that they were just looking at me and thinking, where are you? You know what I mean? And a lot of us supposed to be going over there, and I was thinking, there was a time I thought, Lord, I'm black, why not send me to Africa or whatever? But God is wonderful. He will send different people to different parts of the world. It could be a black person to Europe, you know what I mean? Because, you know, there's going to be no racism in heaven, mate. So, you know what I mean? And he can do what he wants. And I went to go to, and then I planned with my friend to go to Pakistan, and I got pregnant. You know what I mean? I didn't. I met this woman, and she always goes back and forth to India and Pakistan. You know, she got missionary there. She goes, "Will I help?" I went, "Yeah." And the fact that I was pregnant, I thought, you know what I mean? So, but I know if God still wants me to, no matter what coronavirus or whatever, He'll make a way that I don't get the test. He'll make a way. He has to. He's got to prove Himself to me, because God says, "Command of me." I mean, He's God. Command of me. Prove me. He's God. That's what He challenges His children. And He doesn't say, "Come to me beggarly and plead for mercy because of all your sins this year." No, He says, "Cast your cares upon me, for I care for you." He wants us to honour and respect Him. But you know, sometimes we go to our parents, "Mom, where's the dinner? I'm hungry." He wants us to treat Him like that, in certain ways, because if you're gonna come, "Oh thou, oh most," and there's a place for it, as long as you have faith that He loves you. "Oh thou most glorious," these and thous. He's not impressed. He wants you to treat Him like we treat our parents, but with respect, of course. We don't. "Oh, you know what I mean?" I don't think so. You can't do that. But you know what I mean? When you're frustrated, cast your cares upon Him. So back to the dream. I saw these dark-skinned women, and I think probably one dark. I don't know. I think they were mainly women and children, and they was in that carriage, and they were submissive. They didn't move. They didn't say anything. They were submissive, but you can tell on their face. They look very serene, but you could tell on their face that that I'm taken. And there was these white, kind of like Victoria-ish, and I think probably Catholic as well, yes, with them, taking them against their will. They're in Africa now, and I forgot to tell you that. And if I would have sound more credible if I told you this 2019, but because I didn't even know what it meant, I know God was getting me prepared. And I believe in December, I could have said at least one or two. You know what I mean? But I've chosen work. That's why God is cutting. I mean, oh dear, hold on a minute. It would have been more credible, but and this thing with work, and the amount of jobs I had, I could have been working now. And I had 2 yesterday. But guess where? In London. I thought, you kidding me? I think it was Indeed or Reed. And I thought someone's taking the mick out of me. Honestly. I really believe it. But they were legit. You know what I mean? And I said, sorry, I live in the West Midlands. You know what I mean? I can't, in London. And one today in Manchester. They can either train me, I think, as a manager and or admin or sales. And I said, you know what, Lord, maybe I'm too fussy. Let me just go for it. But then I've changed my mind, because I can't stand manager position. I can't stand admin. I freaking hate it. And I can't stand sales. Out of the three, it would be more the sales and the admin that I love. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, I did a bit of admin, but things are so complicated that my head can't, because God don't give you to do everything. So you got to know who you are, especially in these last days, and you got to know what you were called to do. And people say, Fiona, you can put your mind. Yes, you can. What God has called you to do. Get it? And He's giving everyone gifts. Some 1, some 2, some 3, some 4. You know what I mean? Some have 6. And He expects us to use it for the good of mankind. It may seem difficult now because what's happening, but So I had all that. And the other job, the one that asked me, we want you to be happy where we are. They contacted me back, and they're going to get things going. You know what I mean? I had to send documents and that, and so it's just soon. You know what I mean? God, I'm gonna have to probably borrow some money. I don't know who from. But in the meantime, I had a dream as well about the and this was this year, but way back this year, I think, that I was working for the job centre, and I think things will be lifted, because there was so much chaos in the job centre. Like everyone's going there, and it was a job fair, and there was no social distancing. No, I think there was actually. And the people was looking at me, watching to see what I'm doing, like the seniors there, and even the workers, because they're wondering, like, I'm going there, they're, yeah, bitch, because I'm a Roma. You know what I mean? I was trying to make sure that everybody, they're okay, you know what I mean? So, or maybe they're just jealous. And I saw something that I really love at my last job. I haven't left, but, you know, because of the cough. And I says, oh my God, it's so wonderful to see you there. And, you know, and, because, yeah, things will be lifted. I don't know when. And I think before the worst happens, the rapture is going to take place before the tribulation, and in a blinking of an eye. And the man that is flying the plane, or the person who's driving a car, better not be saved, you know, because if he's got, like, his colleagues he's taking home and they're not saved, the car crash, the plane will go, you know what I mean? So it's going to be bad. But it's going to be great for those that, you know, so God's giving people a chance now, you know what I mean? Yeah, so job centre, I can't stand them. When I was in London, they stopped, because when I was doing that court thing, they stopped me. It's like they really play games. People, I mean, there was some time ago, years ago, look, I think a few hits YouTube, I was saying it, I don't know if it's there now. And I'm meeting people that I know that work there, you know, they just tell me straight. It's all designed to mess up your brain, and the selection, the racist selection. And I can't stand the way they sit there and profile you. You know what I mean? Just like the police profiling black kids on the street in London, you know? And you know, so that's what they do, they profile you, you know, and but that Chinese woman, she saved the day. I even forgot to tell you. She says, I said, so look, I've been coming here all the time wanting to do security. And she says, I says, I was at this horrible course, and you know what I mean? And she says, I don't understand, there's always security here. There's always, you know what I mean? If anybody wants to do it, they can do it. I don't understand. I said, yeah, but I was seeing different people, and they told me that, oh, there's none of it. And you know what she did? She kind of looked, because there was people sitting over there, and the staff was, you know, dealing with the claimants. And she kind of looked at them like this, you know. She didn't understand, you know what I mean? And then she took a while, you know, she just kept looking at them like, you know, why stop me? Because she knew it was them. The way she looked, you should have saw the way she looked. She can do better than me, man. And she just says, we're going to get you on it right now. And then I met, I did it at my last place, you know, in Birmingham, you know, West Midlands. And of course there's black people there, but you know what I mean? Because when I went to that place, they said nearly all of them were black. A few Asian and hardcore Europeans. They, you know, they just done what they consider the worst ones, you know, the worst of us there, because they had so much complaints. You know what I mean? So much. Because the man was just, he was like a dictator. And I was the only girl there with them. Because when I went there, I think I went there 3 times. And there was more women. And it's like against women. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're a female, you're going to be tough doing this. I don't care. I've never ever had anyone disrespect me like that on a security course. And I've done 2, but I've never. Well, I did security before the badge came out. I was working in a government office in London. Big mistake, but the money, oh my God. I was very young. The money was insane, and double that weekends, or double that in the evenings as well when it hits certain time. So you're earning big, massive money, and it started at £15, and then it goes up to 18, and during Christmas they just added another 2. So you know what I mean. But what they did, they locked me in the government office on my first day because there was an incident in Vauxhall. This is in Vauxhall. There was an incident, but I'm not sure if it was an incident or a bomb scare, you know what I mean? And I was the only female and the only black one, but they were alright, you know what I mean? And they says, look, you just stay by the phone, yeah? And remember, because I was at, they call it security, no, not ad, whatever. Because I had, because I had to deal with the phones, and I had to deal with inquiries and search people. So make sure they got this on you, that on you. They did. They locked me in the rotted government building. I kid you not. And because look, we'll be back here. Remember the toilets there. You can have tea, you can have whatever you want, and they came back hours later, and they goes, "You all right? Great." You know what I mean? Before I could say, and I said, "I'm leaving." You know what I mean? But I gave it a bit more time, and then we did all sorts. I didn't like retail, and that's when I left. But the money was insane. You're talking about back in the day. You're talking about London. Oh my God. And it was 12 hours to begin with, and then they put it up to 15. And I was complaining. I said, look, man, because it was back to back, and it was constant back to back. It wasn't like we have a break. You know what I mean? They were mad. That's why I'm glad the SIA come out, because if there was an incident out there, or there was a bomb scare, there should be somebody with me. I'm a female. Even if I'm a man, there should be someone with me. You can't be locking the door. The SIA and I know some security people. Look, man, they're on my case, and I don't like them. They're just making things. But then you had people, security, who didn't know any better, murdering, and thinking that I've got the right. So it's so good that the SIA is coming. You know what I mean? And I worked all over the place, and the money is. I wish the money was, but guess what? £18. No, 18 hours they wanted me to work, about 4 days, and then go back to 12 hours, and then go back to it. And I just says, and I was a bit skint towards the end. I says, look, I couldn't eat because I never had any food, because I spent all my money on travel, and I haven't got paid yet. You know what I mean? I was so angry. Anyway, after a while, I'm glad I spent some good time there, but after a while I left. You know what I mean? And they were begging me to, oh, you're so good, I'm so sorry, come back. I went, fuck off. I didn't say it to him, but in my head I said, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a freaking robot. I love long hours now, but the money, if you're earning nearly £20 an hour, and you only work just 8 hours, and it doubles on the weekend and the evening and all the holidays, let's just round the number. 5 hours, £100. Double that, £200. Do you know how much money I was making? But then, and I was strong enough, I could cope, but I just thought, look, man, I'm a robot. I'm just, you know what I mean? Oh man, I wish they was paying us that much money now. So it's my first, third time now doing security, and I don't know, because of the cover, I don't know, whatever comes up first. But this has now, so this is all right. So she's getting things prepared for me, and so I'm happy about that. But she says to me, we're 0 hours, and due to what's happening in the pandemic, we get loads of jobs coming in, but sometimes it could be very slow, sometimes it may not be. So I'm going to give myself 2 weeks, and then I'm going to look for another one, but it's got to be another 0 hours. That's not the only way it could work, you know what I mean, because I need to pay my rent. And I'm a bit low on that at the Moment. God's going to have to do a miracle. I don't know what to do, but I can't think of that now. So as I was saying, the helicopters, they're here. I don't know if anyone's heard them, but it's just horrible. And so you may have heard about the cathedrals open up there, you know what I mean, but a lot of people haven't. So I was just thinking, wow, they want to get it to us December. Christ might just return before then, and it's going to take 2 years, 12 months, no, 12 to 14 months. Is it that? Hold on a minute. Yeah, 12 to 14 months. That's over a year to over a year to 2 months over. Why is it going to take that long? Is it because of the amount of people living in this country, or is it because a lot of them might just drop down dead there and then? And look at the plagues the virus we've had in the past. This is by far the least people die compared to others. So you have to ask yourself your question: why do they want to do this? Ushering in the new world order, and look what's in it: animal, abortion, and abortion. Right? It's more bloody than not. You know what I mean? So it's like blood. You know what I mean? And chemicals, lead crystals. I know it's not easy to say no, and so you might be scared. Look, man, if they say that I can't eat, I don't give a shit, but then you'll never be forgiven. You'll never be forgiven, you know, and you'll die anyway, or become a robot. Eventually, you're gonna, you know, it's like winning the battle and winning the battle and losing the war. You know what I mean? Just don't take it. God, just thinking of it. It's terrible. And I believe people's been taking it from time. I really do. I remember there was a time when I was living in London that the government was bigging up, suddenly was bigging up, soldiers a lot. It was like a type of worship, leading people to worship them. And even the media, the news, you know, was bigging up soldiers, bigging up. And if you say one word against them anywhere on the street, people just like, "Oh, dare you? Do you know what they do for you? If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be." Oh, one woman said that to me. I didn't even say anything to that. I just said, "Oh, that," because I knew something was sinister. Because I'm not stupid. You know, I knew something was sinister because the way they just suddenly do it, getting us prepared for this. So when them soldiers come round, but they never bargained for a lot of people getting clued up. Look, a film came out, and my friend told me about it, and it's like The Cov. You know what I mean? And I think it came out in 2011. And we just watched it, and a friend kept just going, "Oh my god, oh my god," because everybody must have watched it. So people are clued up. Look at The Simpsons. It's The Simpsons. Anytime a famous person dropped dead, they show it on there first. I think it's Simpsons. You know what I mean? People are clued up. Michael Jackson, Prince. You know, I used to believe in a lot of celebrities being clones. I think I've hit it on the nail now. They're not probably clones. I think this poison has been out and they're pretending. Don't let nobody fool you. Anyway, I've got to go now, and I want to say something about God again. He gave me this revelation. I'm going to have to come back and say it. I say a bit. He could have wiped us out and created another batch of humans, but he couldn't. Because before he formed you, he says, "Before I knew you in your mother's womb," no, before, oh God, when you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you were formed, you know, I knew you, and I ordained you. I loved you. I love you before you were born. And God knew us before we actually existed on this earth. He knew us. And he wanted it that way. Because he doesn't want to. He's not cheap. He doesn't want to love on the cheap. That's why his weakness is us. That's why he says he has weakness. It's us. You know what I mean? He wanted to pay the full price of that. And plus sending his son to die for us. What more do you want? You know what I mean? What more do we want? But he goes deeper than that. He just loves us so much. Before we were born, he knew us and he created us. And he did it so fearfully, just how I mentioned before, so wonderfully, fearfully and wonderfully made, you know, in his image. So it's hard to get rid of us. Look at the wickedness people are doing. You know what I mean? It's hard to get rid of us. And I believe those hybrids in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were having sex with animals. They were wild, smelling shit, eating shit, just like people doing now. You know, like they love the smell of feces, and they. Anyway, we can't tell because if I talk too much of this, I can't eat. You know what I mean? After, you know, so he loves us, man. He's unconditional. You know, it's unconditional, and even when we box God's hands away, "Oh, leave me alone," his arms is outstretched still, only for a certain time. So don't miss it. Don't miss the boat. And Jesus is the boat.